Specialized Epic, la nuova full suspension di casa Specialized, merita una spiegazione più approfondita anche per quanto riguarda la geometria. Sono qui con Brian Gordon, product manager della piattaforma Epic. So Brian, can we go a little bit deeper about suspension? What changed mostly between the new one and the old one?
Yeah, so a huge part of the old Epic was that it was the Epic FSR. So we had the FSR pivot located just below the dropout here. The new rear end obviously doesn't have that, so that's going to be a big difference that people are going to notice for sure. Kind of like one of the top goals for this bike, obviously to make it fast. We wanted to make a faster cross-country bike and hopefully the fastest in the world. So one of the ways of doing that was to make the bike much lighter than the previous one. And to do that, we realized with a pivot moving about 3 degrees, we could get that flex throughout the rear end. So up here, it's moving about 28 millimeters. And when you see this, it kind of moves up and down. So
oh yeah.
that allows us to get a linkage-driven single pivot design. You can see through here and just get flex out of the rear end, removing the pivot. We were able to save a ton of weight. It's 39% lighter. So we saved 240 grams just out of the rear triangle, which is a huge weight benefit. Removing that pivot allowed us to get an increased stiffer design. So we were able to actually make the tubes lighter because the design was like so much more continuous and stiff through here. So we're having less carbon material. We could make it thinner, remove the pivot so we lose all the weight of the bearings and hardware.
Nice, nice. Regarding the front triangle?
Yeah, so with the front triangle, a huge thing we did is you can see the tubes are much more round shaped. So this design lends itself to a lot of stiffness at a light weight. We did remove the swat cradle here. That allowed us to blow this out a little bit, create a lot more top tube stiffness.
Yep.
The front triangle is stiffer than the previous one and about 14% lighter.
Wow. And now you also have a 30.9 seat post.
Yeah, so with all the cross-country tracks getting super technical, we see a lot more riders riding dropper post just for general riding, not even for World Cup racing. We wanted the bike to be more confident, and that was another huge target with the bike, was to make it not feel like a twitchy cross-country bike that you could only ride on fire roads comfortably. One way to do that is to get a seat post that drops. Another thing with this, our new 30.9 S-Work seat post, we've optimized the carbon layup in here to make this post 30 grams lighter than our 27.2 version. So even if you're running a rigid post for lightweight, you're getting a lighter post than the 27.2.
Let's go about the geometry.
Yeah, so this bike has a complete new geometry concept that we've started kind of from the ground up, and that was to further the goal of making the bike more confident on the downhills. So one way to do that is obviously to bring the front end further out. So slackening the head tube angle, and we increase the reach. This allows the rider to run a little bit shorter stem. The problem with just doing that is that you kind of lose that front end positivity, and you feel you lose the sharp cornering. We have a new fork offset, so this fork is 42 millimeters of brake.
Okay, nice.
It's actually brought back a little bit. This gives us a trail number about 94, which is what most people are only used to seeing on long travel trail bikes like enduro bikes. What it does though is it gives you a very stable feel at high speeds and a very positive and sharp handling feel when you're picking your way through technical rock terrain. So we think that this will give riders much more confidence. So for general marathon racing or cross-country riding, it's definitely a more confident bike that more riders will be able to ride now.
Wow, super cool, especially this color. It's very nice.
Ready to ride?
Yeah, ready for the riding. Thanks a lot, Brian. Thanks a lot.